What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and if there was anyone out there that still thought there was a remote possibility that Dave Chappelle would bend the knee and apologize over his Netflix special, The Closer, just because an insignificant number of people have decided to try to make a lot of noise about it and get it canceled from Netflix, well, you were sorely mistaken, and Dave Chappelle made sure that everyone knew that yesterday when he posted a video, an excerpt of what he said in Nashville, when he said, "I'm not bending over for anyone," and in fact, I'm going to go on a tour with my new documentary because some people don't want you to see it. Some people pulled out in negotiations with me. Some people are trying to unperson me. That's fine. I will do it myself. I am not canceled. And you can see the headline. One thing that a lot of people are talking about is the shot that he took at quote-unquote comedian Hannah Gadsby. You might be asking the question, if you saw the title of this, if you saw the thumbnail, who is Hannah Gadsby? Never heard of this person before. You're not the only one. She's pretty irrelevant, and we're going to get into that. And we're going to get into why exactly Dave Chappelle brought this person up in the first place. You can see the headline from Deadline. Dave Chappelle says he won't be bending to anyone's demands over Closer controversy, praises Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos, and mocks Hannah Gadsby. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today. After nearly 3 weeks of controversy, Netflix firing and suspension of trans staff, and the protests on the street of Hollywood over remarks centered on the trans and LGBTQ plus communities by Dave Chappelle in his special The Closer, the comedian's finally responding significantly, and it's a mixed bag, to put it mildly. Oh my gosh, come the fuck on. The people in the mainstream media are the reason that they're making it seem like there's such big backlash, because in reality, the vast majority of people love what Dave Chappelle said. They think it's absolutely hilarious and that his commentary is spot on. And it is an incredibly small number of people. It's not like the trans community. It's not the LGBTQ plus community. It's a small number of people within that community, as Dave Chappelle even said. You neglect to mention that Dave Chappelle said it's not me against this community. It's just a few people that are trying to influence a corporation to saying what I can and cannot say. That's what it's about. But of course, the mainstream media is going to spin. To the transgender community, I am more than willing to give you an audience, but you will not summon me. I am not bending to anyone's demands. And I want you to hear this again from Dave Chappelle himself before we get into why he even mentioned Hannah Gadsby and why he gave her so much attention, more than she's ever really had in history, to be honest with you. And let's listen to this. My Nerdy Home clipped this part out. We talked about it in the other video, but I want to focus on what he says at the end here.
To the transgender community, I am more than willing to give you an audience, but you will not summon me. I am not bending to anybody's demands.
Hell yeah.
And if you want to meet with me, I'd be more than willing to, but I have some conditions. First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end. You must come to a place of my choosing and a time of my choosing. And thirdly, you must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny.
Now, what prompted Dave Chappelle to mention this? What prompted Dave Chappelle to say this? Well, Hannah Gadsby prompted it. This wasn't just some random name drop. Hannah Gadsby is the one who decided to make this a thing. Hannah Gadsby goes off on Netflix head Ted Sarandos for using her to defend Dave Chappelle. And what exactly happened here? Well, Ted Sarandos, in one of his defenses of what Dave Chappelle said, he said, listen, we have a variety of content on Netflix. This is the exact quote. We're working hard to ensure marginalized communities aren't defined by a single story. We have Sex Education, Orange is the New Black, Control Z, Hannah Gadsby, and Dave Chappelle all on Netflix. Key to this is increasing diversity on the content team itself. So this is what Ted Sarandos said. He said, hey, listen, we have a bunch of different people on here. Hannah Gadsby is notable for a special that she did on Netflix a few years ago that a lot of the woke lunatics said, oh, this is incredible. It's post-comedy. It was literally intended to be essentially a stand-up show about how comedy is dead and stand-up is dead. The woke crowd loved it, like, oh, it's post-comedy. Almost the entire point of it was to not be funny, which is probably good because Hannah Gadsby, the few times that I've seen her, she's not fucking funny at all. But she had a problem that Ted Sarandos decided to call her out. And Data Racer here, we're going to focus on what Data Racer said because he's showing the reaction that these people are now having. Hannah Gadsby is not funny. Post these 2 Rotten Tomatoes. This is the Nanette stand-up special that she had, which was not really stand-up. It was more a commentary about how she thinks comedy is gone and that comedy shouldn't be funny anymore. And really it should be about making statements instead of being funny, which is now ironic that Dave Chappelle's calling you not funny and requesting that others do the same. Data Racer, comedian Hannah Gadsby attacked Dave Chappelle, calling his material emotionally stunted and hate speech dog whistling. He responded by telling the truth, she's not funny, and here comes the SJW Defense Force claiming that Dave is washed up. So let's take a look at what Hannah Gadsby said. She is the one who started this with Dave Chappelle. This is what she said to CEO Ted Sarandos. Hey, Ted Sarandos, just a quick note to let you know, I'd prefer if you didn't drag my name into your mess. Now, I have to deal with even more of the hate and anger that Dave Chappelle's fans like to unleash on me every time Dave gets $20 million to process his emotionally stunted partial world view. She is the one who started insulting Dave Chappelle. She is the one who decided to punch first at Dave Chappelle. Not Dave Chappelle, but now the reaction is like, he's the one that threw the first punch. That's not fair. Dave Chappelle shouldn't be doing this. But she does continue. You didn't pay me nearly enough to deal with the real-world consequences of the hate speech dog whistle you refuse to acknowledge, Ted. Fuck you and your amoral algorithm cult. I do shits with more backbone than you. That's just a joke. I definitely didn't cross a line because you just told the world there isn't one. Yeah. There's no line. This is comedy. I know that you, as a so-called comedian, you might not understand this, but yes, this is what comedy is about. It's about pushing the line. So this person decided to take shots at Dave first. Now what's happening? Hannah Gadsby makes shows that aren't necessarily about being funny, is 10 times funnier than present-day Chappelle anyway, won't be playing to shrinking rooms of screeching, aggrieved souls when memories of her relevance ebb away. She has no relevance. The vast majority of people that are seeing Hannah Gadsby trending today have no idea who she is. That is a fact. That is a fact. Hannah Gadsby is living rent-free in the heads of every male comedian in existence and is absolutely eating them up inside. And for that, I love her very much. LOL, all the dudes in my mentions can die mad. That's what that person said. Hannah Gadsby's too smart and funny to deserve having the most righteous dumb fucks in comedy drag her into the conversation. She started this with Dave Chappelle. If she wanted to say something specifically at Ted Sarandos, she could have. She started off that way. But then it became that she was jealous about how much money Dave Chappelle is making. She was mad that he got paid that much when she didn't. You are not relevant, Hannah Gadsby. You're not funny either. That's why you didn't get that money. All you have is the blue checkmark brigade. With Dave Chappelle referencing Hannah Gadsby in his latest rant against the trans community, you have to wonder, does he know what a transgender person is? Are you saying that he thinks that Hannah Gadsby's trans? I mean, if you've seen any pictures of Hannah Gadsby, I guess that wouldn't be a super surprise shock or anything. But no, I think he's talking about her because she decided to take a shot at Dave Chappelle. That is why Dave Chappelle even mentioned this loser. These dudes are so pissed at Hannah Gadsby. She's living rent-free in their heads. She is the one that brought herself into this. She is the one that brought herself into this controversy with Dave specifically. So all these idiots, again, can just go straight to hell and fuck off. Sophia Narwitz says this. For all the people who defended Hannah Gadsby's Netflix special by saying she wasn't supposed to be funny and that her shtick was post-comedy, it's kind of funny to see them now getting mad because someone said she isn't funny. I thought humor wasn't her point. Look at all these articles. Like post-rock, Post-comedy uses the elements of comedy, but without the goal of creating comedic result, laughter, and instead focusing on tone, emotional impact, storytelling, and formal experimentation. The goal of being funny is something in the past, is basically what it says. So, her point is to not be funny. Dave Chappelle says she's not funny. Blue check marks, freak the fuck out. It's obvious. It is obvious who the people prefer and who the critics prefer. Dave Chappelle's the closer. People love it. People think it's hilarious. Hannah Gadsby, people think she's not funny. People think she's boring. This graphic right here tells you everything you need to know. Let me know what you think about Dave Chappelle standing up. Dave Chappelle taking shots at Hannah Gadsby after she brought herself into this. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.